So welcome to Pax Europiana here from Eisenstadt, the regional capital of our most eastern province region. I don't like the term province, but this is basically the region of the federal state called Burgenland. It was once part of Hungary during the monarchy. There was a bloody division after the division of the monarchy in 1919. It was actually a war, and there was a really very complicated division because Austria lost the region of South Tyrol, but the Allies compensated us with this region, and it was German speaking mostly, but obviously divisions are always very complicated in these times, and it works like this. And this is basically the noble family of this region, the Esterházys. To this day they own most of the land here, I think about 10% of the whole land, and this is the castle. They also have built this famous hotel over there. This is since 1.5 years, Hotel Galanta. And basically you have events here, you have the hotel over there, and this is how Eisenstadt works, yeah? More or less. This is the wining and dining area, because it's quite similar to Moldova, because basically all the region here starts this steppe region. Basically, you know, you see the Alps very in distance over there. From the top of the castle, certainly you see it still, and that's the end of the Alpine and the Danube Valley area, and then it goes into this Hungarian plains, and this is very similar to Moldova and to much of the land in Ukraine, because you see that now it's very flat, it's very good for solar, wind and for wine, and also for agriculture. One of the reasons why this area was given to Austria was, of course, ethnicity. You could always discuss the borders, but it was also a big agriculture supply region for Vienna and for Graz. And there was a big famine, and the Allied forces and the Allied commander didn't want this region and the big cities Graz and Vienna to starve. And so this region was handed over to the Austrian side, very much to the regret of the Hungarians, and obviously it was very deeply problematic. The Hungarians lost a lot of land, but I want to remind that here mostly were German-speaking people living in Transylvania, Romanians. So Mr. Orban is not right with his irritantist and revanchist scarf, which he has recently shown. And please, the Burgenland will not be yours, Mr. Orban. Let's not make any mistake here. The unity and all the issues of injustice of the past have to be overcome with joint NATO membership, the Euro and the European Union. And I said this already at the Fidelitas conference. I was invited in the presence of Mr. Orban when I shook his hand, and I said the injustice of Trianon can be overcome only inside NATO, EU and the Euro, and obviously with regional self-representation and minority rights. But he seemingly listened to other people more, and especially to Russia and to Trump and all these moneyed interests which he thinks are so cool. And obviously the idea of European integration has lost a little bit the appeal compared to Eastern integration for him. Or whatever kind of things. Let's not go down that line, but I call for Hungary to join the Eurozone, and for Hungary to support Romania in the Schengen zone, and for more unity. This is what we need to achieve. Yes, here it's very, very beautiful area, and I really like it very much. This is the main square, the main region of this beautiful Eisenstadt, this historic town, one of the fragile regions of Austrian history, which are now so successful first time in their history, because this was always the most poorest periphery of the most poorest periphery. Also, let's not forget, inside the Austrian-Hungarian monarchy, this so-called German Western Hungary was very poor and underdeveloped. When the authorities of Austria then integrated this in the 20s, they found out that the structure of the economy is really very regrettable weak, and ever since in my youth we were still joking about the poverty in Burgenland. Now it's overcome because of the European Union, the Euro, the regional development mechanisms. But still, when I look from the perspective of an Upper Austrian, You know, when I go to the regions and the regional centers, the district capitals of Upper Austria, and I compare them with Burgenland, then I see huge differential in prosperity still today, and it's a significant work that needs to be done. And obviously the infrastructure interconnectivity with Hungary is a major issue. In 2019 I was going to the Balaton, it's the big lake of freedom, and traveling to the Gate of Freedom. I showed you that on the podcast as well. And you see that you have major interconnectivity issues around the lake, the Neusiedlersee, and this big lake between Hungary and Austria. You have in the south of the lake a lot of lack of infrastructure, and the whole Austrian-Hungarian infrastructure interconnectivity in rail, energy and in motorways is very, very bad. Additionally, to my utter disgust, the Austrian government is still keeping the military at the Austrian-Hungarian border, and we are really not in 1919 but in 2022. So the so-called military assistance project, Einsatz, the mission of military assistance of the Austrian military to the border protection, must be immediately stopped. It's a complete outrage that this is still happening, and I'm absolutely calling for an end of that. Yeah, this is very nice city, and you see the prosperity. This is the city council. The prosperity is ancient and goes back a long time. There is potential here, and of course it's a crossroad towards the trade routes of Eastern Europe. And you see here, that's the Slovak flag, that's the Steirische Botschaft, whatever, that's the Honorar Consul of, there's a really center, that's really good, I'm happy to see that, yeah. Look, there is the Styrian, that's another federal state, yeah. Then there is the Ukraine Honorary Consul, the Honorary Consul of Romania, of Slovakia, of, that's Morocco, and that's North Macedonia. This is really very good. That's a kind of a embassy building for Burgenland, Eisenstadt here. I don't know, probably one of the richer families. They have several of them, or then I don't know if that is a kind of official building. I'm not sure. I guess it's one family which has a lot of international activities, and they are working for European Burgenland. That's very good. I have no idea, but that's something positive. Yes, here Macedonia is already represented. That gives me a good feeling, and also Ukraine. That's very good. I think I will honor that with a photo and then come back to you in another podcast. But please support Burgenland, and Burgenland support NATO. Hungary, join the Eurozone, and let's be more united all together. Best regards here from Eisenstadt. Bye.